Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to finish up this torch on the unwrapping and then I'm going to lay out the UVs and then I'll get into texturing. So one thing I did is I ran a quick layout. I forgot that I wasn't recording at the time, and then I just moved it over, and that's this entire section here. So I'm going to just keep pushing along with the rest of it. And that was just, modify layout, and then I just kind of scooched it over. So the next thing I've got is really this part. I've got a few pieces left to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the same thing here. Modify layout. Make sure I do a quick unfold. And, all right, so that part's all ready to rock and roll as well. And then got a bolt here. Here. There. And I'm just unfolding and laying out real quick just to make sure everything's kind of good. And okay, this one I'm going to leave as it is. I'm just going to scale a little bit bigger so I can see it better. I really don't need these faces, so I'm going to delete them. Cut this edge, tools, move UV shell tool, unfold. And I think that's about it. So I want to try to keep everything together. So the easiest way to do this is just to combine this entire thing. There's a way to keep it all separate, but for now I'm just going to do a combine, as I had this all set up in different groups before. You could do an edit ungroup. I think it's under edit, ungroup. Edit. Ungroup, and this is really the easiest way to do it. Edit, delete all by type history. These are probably things that I don't even need anymore. Okay, and I have none of this stuff labeled, but that's okay because I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do combine. And now I've got all the UVs I need right here. So I could theoretically run a modify layout, and it does a really good job for the most part, but I don't like how it has everything separate from, so I don't know what I'm texturing in the, when I break down the UVs. So, these just all magically reappeared. These are just like, ooh. Edit, delete all by type history. There we go. That should do it. So now I've got everything here, but I want to make sure, and it's all one object technically now. I'm going to assign a new, or do I have an existing material with checkerboard? I do. I'm going to tap 6, and my first goal is to make sure all of these sort of match the same size. So I'm going to start by scaling these all fairly large, right? And then I'm going to pick a section that I feel like would be very easy to manipulate. So like this entire section right here, I'm going to just try to get these to match the same size of the squares that I currently have on this section. I'd say that's pretty close. I'm going to go with that. All right. I'm going to drag this over. This section here, it's pretty close actually. Probably bring it down a little bit. Something like that. And then could have probably done both of these at the same time, but and I'm going to do these ones by hand. I don't even know which one this one is. Okay. So these can probably all be done at the same time. And now I'm going to scale it up, and you can tell that they're pretty much all the same size, so I'm in good shape there. And now what I got to do is just basically manipulate everything into my little one-to-one region. So in order to do that, I want to make it as easy as possible. And I want to maximize the amount of space I have with these as best as I possibly can. Okay. So it's not letting me drag this into this little circle, even though I do have this space. So what I can do, go to my transform, and then change this by 0.01. Let's see. And it's going to need to be 0.001 to get the adjustments that I need it to do. And now I'll get it right in that circle. So I'm maximizing my space as best as I possibly can. And these I'm not too concerned about. I know they're bolts, so I'm going to just start to fill in some of these areas that I can. Like this is going to be right here. Like these I'm not too concerned about. I know kind of what to do with those. And then I'd say the rest is pretty much going to be just fill it in, because I don't have too many other, that's like the inside of something. So all right, so I say that's a pretty good start, but I'll just throw that in there too, just to get rid of some of these smaller items. And I'm just going to start to fill everything in. So I've still got a bunch of these circles and these weird shapes. And I mean, for the most part, I could maybe stack these all pretty well like so. And that's the sides of all of these. Excuse me. Excuse me. And There's so many of them. And the goal at the end of this is just to get everything to fit in the 1-to-1 area. And we're just shifting pieces around one by one. Okay, so we're almost there. Okay, and then last but not least, let's get this one into place somewhere. So I'm getting pretty close. And I still don't know if I'll have enough space, how I have it lined up, but this would have been ideal for this spot. Doesn't look like it'll fit there. These I can probably get to work, yep. Okay, so something like this. So now I've got the entire UV laid out by hand. I pretty much know what everything is, and I can just kind of get to work. I know this is my handle. I just want to double check one thing. This one's going to go to the bottom. That one goes in between those two. And then ultimately I'll know exactly which ones are which, so pretty good to be able to differentiate. That one goes to the top. perfect. And since I have the space, I'm going to just space them out a little bit. Just give me a little extra room to paint when I bring this into Photoshop. So I'm good there. I've got the entire thing laid out. Pretty much know what everything is because I hand did it, but just to give you an idea, by matching all those cubes on the mesh, even though I did it by hand, I still think it's very, very close to accurate. So sometimes you just have to do things by hand, and that's why I'm showing you this to you. You could have laid it out, but I feel like there's too much guess and check on when you start painting in Photoshop. And I feel like this is a really good way to learn how to place UVs and to get really nice UVs out in order to make your textures that much better. But it is a little time consuming. I hope you enjoyed this one. In the next video, I'm going to go ahead and texture this. So I guess the last thing I'll do before I close this video out is go to Image, UV Snapshot with everything selected. Browse where I'm going to put this. And it's going to go into my midterm objects, my torch. And this is going to be torch UVs. Save. It's going to be saved out as a JPEG, and I'm going to hit apply and close. I'm also going to save this out. I just want to make sure. And Control S. So I've got this whole thing now unwrapped. The next video I'm going to cover how I'm going to texture it. And then we'll take it one step at a time. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you were able to take something away from it. I hope hand placing all the UVs in certain spots kind of helps you, especially if you have a complicated object with lots of tiny objects attached to this thing. You'll be able to figure it out a little bit easier and better. But other than that, if you have questions, shoot me a message on Canvas, and I'll help everyone as needed. But thanks again. Stay tuned for the next one and keep working on your midterms.